Today we're going to be on lesson 1, day 6, and in our book it is lesson D. So if everyone would please open your books and turn to page number 7. We are going to get a pair of words, and then there will be a few sentences underneath, and you have to decide, does the one word fit, or does the other word fit, or do neither words fit? So you're going to choose from the two words provided and use each word just once when filling the spaces. One space will be left blank. So of the 3 sentences here under brusque and abrupt, only 2 will use words and 1 will be left blank because it doesn't work. So let's look at the first set of words together in your book. So number 1, I was greeted with a blank no when I asked if I could help. Is it a brusque no or an abrupt no? Which one would make more sense? If we go back to our word list and we look at what the word abrupt means versus brusque, do they mean the same thing, or is one different than the other? Brusque means abrupt in manner or speech, gruff. So which word would be which? Now let's look at number 2. A or an abrupt person seems always to be in a hurry. Or number 3, the bus came to a brusque stop or to an abrupt stop. So you have to decide right now which word goes on which line and which line is left blank. So number 1, let's see what you would think it would be. And the answer is brusque. Brusque meaning gruff or abrupt in speech usually. So brusque, no. Number 2, is there a word or is it blank? No word fits there. It's not a brusque person or an abrupt person. And so number 3 must be abrupt. This is to help you determine the difference between abrupt and brusque and how they should be used separately. So brusque describes somebody's speech, somebody's way of behaving, and then abrupt is an action or an adjective that describes how they stopped. Okay, number 2, the second section, rebuff or reject. You're going to look at 3 sentences here and decide which word fits best and which word or which sentence has none of these 2 choices. If you'd like, you can blank a card and take another one from the deck. You can rebuff a card or you can reject a card. Number 5, the soldiers were able to rebuff the enemy's charges or reject the enemy's charges. And number 6, the agency will rebuff applications that are not properly signed, or they will reject applications that are not signed. Again, what's the difference between the word rebuff and reject? If you go to your page 3 and review what rebuff means to reject bluntly, a blunt rejection, or to drive back, or an abrupt setback in progress. So let's look at number 4 and think, what would you put here? If you'd like, you can rebuff a card or reject a card. Well, do we want to reject it bluntly, drive it back, or abrupt setback in progress? The correct answer should be none. That one doesn't really make sense. The soldiers were able to rebuff the enemy's charges, to drive back. The agency will reject applications that are not properly signed and dated. All right, let's look at the next set of words, 7, 8, and 9. To walk on the moon is a feat that no one is likely to emulate or imitate. Well, we know emulate means to imitate. So why would you use emulate over imitate? Emulate means to try to equal, to imitate. So you want to be like them in pretty much in a positive manner. So to walk on the moon is a feat that no one is likely to emulate, imitate, or neither. To blank someone else's answers during a test can get a student in serious trouble. To emulate their answers or to imitate their answers, or neither. And the last one, to emulate the sound of bird calls is quite an accomplishment, or to imitate. Are we trying to be like the bird, or are we trying to sound like the bird? So let's look at our answers. Number 7 is emulate. We want to be just like the astronaut who did it. Number 8 is to neither. It doesn't make sense to emulate or to imitate answers because really all you're doing is copying and not for a positive manner. And then number 9, is left with imitate. If you want to sound like the bird, you're not trying to emulate it. You want to become the bird. You want to just make the sound. So number 9 should be imitate. So I want you to try the next 2 on your own, the 3 sentences that go with demeaning and despicable, and the 3 sentences that go with turbulent and stormy. I'm going to ask your teacher to pause the video so that you can work through those. And when you're ready, press play and the answers will appear on the screen. So number 10 should have been demeaning. 11 was none. 12 was despicable. 13 was turbulent. 14 was neither. And 15 was stormy. Look at how you did. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got them right. Thanks for your time.